Hello everyone, welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi everyone, today we have Fujimoto cooking. Very good. It smells good. It tasted good. It's amazing.
Chainsaw Man chapter 114, Endless Aquarium.
This was a really good chapter.
What a good chapter it was. What a good chapter.
Let's just get right into it.
So, got the classic. We're starting off. They're in the aquarium, Eternity Devil, right? Theoretically, we've seen some theories turned around. It's not really addressed this episode. We don't see it.
As of now, we'll just say,
yeah, Eternity Devil.
They're going through deja vu. They're doing it again, literally deja vu in the next.
We must have walked 100 meters. I told you it's this Eternity Devil thing. Oh, shut up! You aren't even a devil hunter. Quit making things up. Hey, I know more about devils than you think. Well, I know more. I'm in the Devil Hunters Club. That's so true. That's so true. Awesome.
I love how Fujimoto's written it, where he's putting him in a situation like this, where Dennis literally knows more and has dealt with more, and she's just a newbie. She's like,
Dennis is like probably the second best devil hunter in existence right now, right after Kishibe.
Yeah, spoilers for JoJo Part 4. This kind of gives me vibes to like the Sheer Heart Attack arc, where Jotaro knows who's in Kuchi. Like, yeah, well, I know more about it. I've dealt with stuff, just not even knowing the other person's previous experience over an entire part. and then on the next page, we get literally more deja vu.
Freaking way. Fake Saw Man, Brobeny, and not Arai. God, I'm giving Kyle came up with Brobeny. It's good. It's true. She knows more about devils. Hey, what a coincidence running into you here. The hell are you, the Devil Hunter Club? Then we get the student council president being like, why don't you even know me, Dennis? It's all right. If you want to know, I can answer that. I'm the Devil Hunter president / student council president, Haruka Issei. I will say, so he gets cut off twice, right? Funny bit. I enjoyed it. I thought Dennis was going to recognize his name. And that's the reason why he wasn't able to say it. But he just got cut off twice, which is funny. But I thought it was going to be something a little bit more. Fine. It's fine. It's not more. And then Yoshida's here. I really like Yoshida.
Hey, Yoshida, what's up?
It's been a second. It's been a second since we've seen him. I really like this guy.
Yoshida, what are you doing? He goes, it's another coincidence. I just felt like looking at fish today, so I came to the aquarium. The next thing I know, we've been trapped in here by the devil. Haha, lol. It'd be crazy if we were together because I was stalking you.
That's crazy, lol. Just going Keating, though.
It's amazing how hard he's trying to cover the fact that he's just been tailing Denji.
I don't think he's trying to cover it. I think Denji sees right through it.
He has to. There's no either Denji is still somewhat dense, like we know, and he's like, yeah, okay, cool, or he's just saying that, and Denji's like, yeah, sure, whatever, because we don't get direct response. And then an interesting tidbit, we get not Arai whisper to him president, that's him. Hirofumi Yoshida, the guy who went from civilian devil hunter to public safety devil hunter while still in high school.
It's interesting. So he's with public safety. So that's his organization is public safety. Which makes sense. Makes sense.
Whoa, crazy.
And then he tries to introduce himself again, and then no freaking way. Brobeny.
He goes, I knew it, we're trapped.
The dream when we were attacked by Real Life Devil. I never wanted to join the Devil Hunter Club. My mom made me. She said it'd get me scholarships. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. I said it. I think with his writing, it's okay. I feel like with any other author, it'd be kind of meh. I like how he's sort of writing part 2 in a similar,
they're very mirrored. It's very mirrored.
Because we know that Fujimoto is a big movie guy, okay? For writing a sequel or a part 2 to something like this, he would probably know his stuff about sequels. So I'm it's interesting how he's going about writing it, because with Eternity Devil Part 1, we had the introduction to Kobeni, we had Arai, we had the Denji trapped in there. We have that.
I think we had seen them before Eternity Devil, but we hadn't met them. And the exact same thing with this. So that's the question. So obviously Brobeny's Kobeni, not Arai is Arai. So then who is Aki? Who is Himeno? and who's power. You could argue that Dennis is power. I might argue that Dennis is power.
And you might argue that Denji is Asa, and then Yoshida would be left with the Himeno role.
Denji is Asa. You just said that. You just said you'd argue that Denji is Asa?
Yeah, and that Dennis is power.
Well, yeah. Well, you'd say that Asa is Denji then.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, I just said that Denji's power.
I got them mixed up. My bad. Or like worded. Point being, there are parallels here.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So the question is, who dies next arc? Probably Fake Sawman. Probably Fake Sawman.
Because okay, as of now, and I know we only just met recently. He doesn't seem to have like big malicious intentions, although we could. Because we don't know more. We don't know much about his backstory. And then with Bro Bunny, we just get the funny reveal that it's just Kobeni's. This is Kobeni's younger brother. Yeah.
Well, we don't know if he's a brother or a cousin or. Honestly, he doesn't even have to be related. He's probably related, and he's probably a brother. I think I might lean more towards cousin.
Wasn't she working toward? Because the thing that
she did have a brother, right? She does have a brother, but like the parents liked the brother, so like I don't think that at least the brother that Kobeni is talking about. I don't think the parents would force him to be in the Devil Hunter Club.
Well, maybe something happened with Kobeni, and it's like, well, Kobeni's no longer with us.
Kobeni, because she's at the end of Chainsaw Man, she's on the run.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she'd probably be fine now, but she doesn't want to go back. So her
and now that she's not there, the parents were probably like, "Hey, you need scholarships? Go work."
I guess so. I mean, it could be like that.
That's just my guess. You might know based on circumstances. I don't know what happens in the next chapters.
I don't. So, quick aside for that. So on Twitter, I found a thing where it was someone posted to 4chan on this past Saturday, recording this on Tuesday. This past Saturday, the 17th, that he posted the summaries of chapters 114, 115, and 116. And he got 114 right. Like, just objectively, whoever wrote that knew what happened in chapter 114 and knew it very well. So, it's relatively likely that there's a decent chance that 115 and 116 are also correct. And so I read that, and Fujimoto is cooking. But I don't know anything further on that subject. I know some stuff, but like they weren't incredibly in depth. But like
fair enough.
Yeah, like I don't know page for page, word for word, but I know the story beats. If they're even accurate.
We get Nadarai saying this place gets a lot of devil activity, so we're on patrol. You guys must have noticed that too. And he explains the power. He basically recaps what they said in like the original Eternity Devil. It makes the hallway go on forever and eternity, and it until help arrives or we can kill the devil. And we see Asa flashing back to what the Famine Devil says: "You aren't leaving this aquarium until you can turn Denji into a weapon."
We get Dennis looking depressed as per usual.
We just get another Denji staring off into the void look.
Finally, Haruka Iseumi. I knew Iseumi. He just introduced himself. Devil Hunter Club President, I ask you to obey my orders in this situation. From this point on, we have two goals: exterminate the devil and survive. I was like, oh yeah, he's Chainsaw Man. As long as I do his thing, maybe I can't get out here without turning Dennis into a weapon. Actually, if I kill him, I won't need to turn anyone to a weapon. I get my body back from without causing any trouble for any more people. And again, there's no way I can kill him on my own. Can I really turn Denji into a weapon, though? And she's spacing out. Or not Arai is like, is she okay? And he's like, I don't know. That's so true. Walking through, again, kind of similar to Eternity Devil in part 1. They stick the window, exploring. And it's just the same thing. They're still walking. They're in a little lounge. Find some water. Yada yada. Identical fridges. So they have infinite water. They found some fish. So they have a bit of food. An aquarium won't have a fire source. Asa says. Oh, but I have some. Broveny says my bullies make me light their cigarettes, so I carry a lighter. We can start a fire big enough with the lounge using newspaper as kindling that solves our food problem. Asa's like, I can't eat fish. Why not? Are you allergic? Fish just, it looks too much like a dead animal. It grosses me out.
all of
They
them,
just all stare at her.
they hit her with like 1,000 yard stares. Like, bro, we need to survive. Even the bro bunny gets to just kind of get the awkward side.
He's just like, what?
And she gets flustered and runs outside.
I'm going to take a look outside and runs away from the little Among Us creatures. Outside, and who else does she find but Dennis? What are you doing? Nothing. Why'd you make a noise like I caught you red-handed? There's 1,000 yen in the bag on the ground. I was picking it up. Dude, he's on that grind. Dennis is always on that grind.
She's gonna find out that he has like a daughter of sorts and like is taking care of 5 dogs on his own.
And then she's gonna be like, I can't turn him into a weapon. I can't.
And then she says, that's theft. You're a thief. He goes, finders keepers. It's my money. Not handed over to anyone. And then they continue arguing. And
you're the only one who's helping out. Aren't you ashamed? What'd you do to help then? And then she gets pissed.
Because he's right. She's done, like, first of all, like, you know what she says, you're the only one who isn't helping out. Aren't you ashamed? The 2 things. 1, can't let people know that he's Chainsaw Man. And 2, there's not really much that they did in part 1 until the actual Eternity Devil itself showed up.
Yeah.
And also, 3, there's not much he can really do. And this is all outside of Asa's perspective. I mean, just what I'm saying is like, but why helping? And then his retort is just, what did you do to help then? Like you've done literally nothing.
She gets pissed. As someone on Twitter put it, another Asa expression dropped. It's good. Whatever, go to hell, you thief. Say what you go to hell. And then they just, oh my gosh.
They yelling go to hell at each other. It's great.
It's good. And he walks off, and she's like, what's wrong with him? I went on a date with him, and he says that. Maybe I should turn him into a weapon, right, Yodu? So, funny line, right? I went on a date with him, and he acts like that. Negative Riz. No Riz whatsoever, right?
Yeah, Denji won that argument. He said it more times than she did.
True. He said it 2 more times than she did. He definitely won that.
Yeah,
he's
5 to 3.
And she's like, right, Yoru? So this is interesting. So it shows that Asa has instinctively looked to Yoru for advice. It's interesting. I think it shows some interesting character thing there. And she's obviously like, oh yeah, Yoru isn't here. So it's interesting. It's maybe spawning some thoughts in her, like what will happen, like when I get rid of Yoru, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a loser like Dennis. I have to contribute to the group somehow. Oh, how wrong you are.
And everyone's like, as she walks in, boom, she's got a cell phone. I need to send, I'll send you it after this, the edit of this panel of her holding the phone, but she has on the hat that says, please be patient, I have autism. It's really good.
Okay, so, yeah, Isayumi's like, oh, you actually have one as a student? And he's, well, yeah, it's technically my mom's. And Bro Bunny asks if it has a signal. She's like, oh, it had a bar for a second there. And everyone's like hyping her up, like, atta girl, we can call for help. And they're all like cheering her on. She did it. Thank God I'm gonna live. And she's just trying to find it, or trying to like look for a signal. And then fucking drops the phone, breaks it.
Only once, though. Only once.
She falls over, slams her hand into the wall, and everyone's just staring at her aghast as she breaks the phone. And then we get one of my favorite reactions. It's at page 22, where everyone's like showing their initial reactions. Yoshida's just kind of laughing.
He's like,
Yumi going, sigh, just oddly like staring off.
He's just like great.
I could see it being like, ugh. Like I thought when I first saw that picture, without looking down at the word sigh, I was like, man, that's what he has me thinking right now. Like, oh my god, like she fumbled so.
It's a very good expression. I think we say it every episode. Fujimoto is very good at expressions.
Yeah. And then he says, you complain, you aren't a team player, you failed to come through in the clutch. I expected better from you. And
her hair, whack. Her shoes, whack. Her dress, whack. The way that she didn't even like to smile, whack. This way that she's talked about starfish, whack. Now Dennis, he's tight as fuck.
The way that she drops the phone, whack. Yeah, this was a good chapter,
And
and
then
it
she's
ends
sitting
with
alone.
her
And then she's
sitting alone, and I can feel bad for laughing at it, but oh my god, she just fumbled that so hard.
It's good. Oh, it's very good. This was a phenomenal chapter.
I love this chapter. This was such a good chapter.
So I'm not going to comment on stuff that I think is going to happen because, like, I might know what happens. So what do you think is going to happen next, Kyle?
Throwing the ball to me, huh?
Yeah.
How to predict.
Usually I'm so this is something like I genuinely had this thought, and like I'm not going to say whether or not it does happen. Like at the end of the chapter with Asa sitting out there, I'm like, oh, okay, now this is where like Dennis is going to come up and they're going to have like a heart-to-heart or something.
I could see that happening.
Like that was my first genuine thought whenever I finished the chapter.
Although, okay, this is Fujimoto. Let's be honest. It's
True.
going to happen where... Well, no, what I mean is, like, if that were to happen, it's going to happen in Fujimoto where Dennis is going to show up and be like, man, Asa, like, you were such an asshole to me earlier. And then she's going to look up and be crying. And she's like, ah, shit. They're there.
Yeah,
but,
they're there. You're not a terrible person.
You only dropped the phone once. Hey, I knew this girl. Her name is Kobeni.
Kobeni 1.
Kobeni 1. She dropped food twice at McDonald's, and she'll be like, really? And he's like, yeah, no, it was crazy. She dropped food without telling her any prior context. But for what I genuinely think is going to happen, obviously, if we're going off of what like factually probably will happen, the Eternity Devil confrontation or something else will occur. But this time, Eternity Devil's gonna like not engage with Chainsaw Man. Anyone that approaches him, he's just gonna be like, nope, not gonna fight you guys. I got orders from above to just like wait you out. Because again, like he literally has no reason to like fight. Because you know, at the beginning of the Eternity Devil arc, it's like he just kind of existed. He could have just not revealed himself, but he did because he just wanted to kill Denji. So in this case, his goal isn't to kill Chainsaw Man. It's just assuming he's taking orders from Famine. Because my personal theory, I like to believe that she's like starved him out because he can't die because you know he's the Eternity Devil. It's just like, please I'll do whatever you want. Let me do something to like quit making me feel in pain with like eternal hunger. It's like, oh yeah, wait out this chick. So what I think is gonna happen is something involving that, and I feel like we're gonna get a moment kind of similar to how they were like gonna kill Denji, but in Eternity Devil, where everyone was like deciding what to do to kill Denji, except for I think Aki was the only one that was like, no, don't do it.
And no, Aki never thought to kill Denji. Yeah,
I feel like something similar might happen here, where like the group kind of figures out something that's happening, where it's like, well, shit, Denji sacrifice anybody, and then Yoshida might be like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to say, but that's. I genuinely can't predict what's going to happen next based on I would never have guessed Bro Bunny. Not a million years.
Never would have called it. Never would have called Bro Bunny.
Never would have been able to call Bro Bunny. That's the thing.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Fujimoto cooking.
Fujimoto was indeed cooking this chapter. I like this chapter.
And we'll get another dish of his in a week. It's not a 2-week wait this time.
It's just one great.
Week. Phenomenal. Cannot wait. We have a pretty good chapter of One Piece coming up too.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
But yes. So, any last things you kind of want to say here, Kyle?
Dennis is Himeno. Himeno is Asa.
Okay. Awesome. So, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something to like, so make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us rating how hot the Famine Devil is on a scale of 1 to 10. Next video will be probably One Piece on Sunday. I'm working on a special little project that might come out eventually. Also, if I remember to, and I probably will, this episode had a little background to it with the usual gameplay on a TV. So if you enjoyed that, let me know if you're still here. We really enjoyed this chapter. We'll see you all with Chainsaw Man again next week when I figure out if what I know is true or if the guy just knew 114 and was shitposting 115 and 116. We'll see. I hope he wasn't. They're very good chapters.
Last thing real quick. Last thing. if 115 ends up being right, then you'll 100%.
Oh yeah,
you'll have
100%
pretty high
116 is
chance.
correct.
Yeah.
Like if 114 and 115 are correct and 116 isn't, then it's just like why?
Weird. Yeah.
But we will see you all then. Bye bye.
Bye.